production and publishing. Right now, when you are a comic artist and you want to publish comics, you can basically go through publishing house and you will get it in paper form or in digital. It's basically equivalent because you have to turn pages or zoom in when you have the tablet. But right now, in the 21st century, we think that the technology is a little bit further. And so we basically developed what we call Comics 2.0. And it's a digital comics with some additional multimedia layers. It's not only the music, it's ambient dynamic soundtrack changing depending on the story where you are, but also the infinite scroll. As you can see on the visualization, you just scroll through the story, and it's really impressive atmosphere which you can feel, and it really brings you in. And really soon we will actually release the demo, which you will be able to download to your own device. And this is our team of the three co-founders. Me and Michael, we have background in because we own Illustrator Studio, and Robert has experience from television production. And basically everybody in the team, including around like 15 people, is somehow involved in creative industries. And that was the reason why we choose this project, because we know how hard is it to publish books in general, and the comics books it's even more difficult, because the publishing houses take really or give really small royalties to the authors. So for them it's really hard to basically make a living from just comic book production. And also with our project, it's actually really easy to set up your own comics and publish it by yourself. And we do it by three main parts. First is creation, which we do through Nanis Composer, which is our own software for the authors to set up their Comics 2.0, where they put together the graphics and the soundtrack together. And it's really easy to do, and everybody can do it, and it's for free. The second part is distribution. It's basically the e-commerce store for digital products. We call it Nanis Store. This is just some mock-up. We are right now working on it. But it will be just really easy accessible for wide audience to select what title they want, they buy it, and they download it to their device. And for that, they use Nanis Reader, which is our app for smart devices or even for desktops to read this enhanced comic medium. And to better understand the Comics 2.0, we prepared technology to demo, which is our own story. It's type sci-fi story, Nanis Chronicles, and which you can try. And I even have some demo application on my tablet, so you will be able to try it on your skin. And with our project, very soon we are going to Kickstarter to raise not only some funds, but use it also as marketing tool to get involved more authors, to submit their work to our platform, to use it, and to basically also make a wider audience to appreciate this new possible medium for them. And so I will be really happy if you support our project, which is really can make big difference for all the comic artists around the world, because also one of the really important part is it's really easy to spread it all around the world, because you can just translate the bubbles and you can spread it anywhere in each country you want. Thank you. That's all. So actually, I'm sorry, just in the beginning, if you want to try it, you can take just part because it's the best with the headphones. So maybe just you can try it for a minute, just play it with it a little bit, and you will already get the feeling. What is it, the Comics 2.0?
Maybe the judges first.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we have plenty of time, so feel free.
I need to press something?
No, you just scroll through.
It's like a book.
You just go through. Okay, please.
Do you know how many comic books, digital and print, are sold today in the world or in the market where you want to start?
There are thousands of comics books basically published, I would say, every year, every month. Of course, there are different type of comics, different style. It doesn't have to look like this. It can be like more like manga style, as you have in Japan, or it can be even black and white. You know, it's basically like with movies or with books, you know, there are different genres, there are different styles, so it doesn't matter what the artists want to express, they can express it like with our form. And what is important, as I mentioned, you know, they can be like totally independent because they can submit their work, they can achieve, you know, the audience around the world, just depending what they want to do. So yeah, as I said, there are thousands of comic book creators around the world. There are thousands of comics published every year. So yeah, the market is pretty big.
How about rights? I mean, will this disrupt the comic or the written, like music has been disrupted?
Yeah, like we believe that because you know this is something, as you can see it in the demo. You know, like the comics to work like totally as we mentioned, or like as we are intended to. It has to be prepared for our platform. So all the art has to be done. You know, the music is composed exactly for that, you know, for the title. So it's not only like, you know, the author himself, but also the other creators who can like you know, work to make the title together. And of course, yeah, like the big publishing houses is like Marvel, DC, who are making like the superhero movies right now, you know. They can make their stories through our platform as well. We believe so. That we believe that when we get some big names into our platform, because then we can be really successful. Because as we have already like tested the audience with our demo, everybody was really excited because the authors, the comic artists, as well as the readers, as the audience, basically.
But how is there quality control? Because the reason why people buy comic books from Marvel is that you know that with them you can have a certain level of quality. So in your case, when you democratize the production and creation of comic books, then how do you help the reader choose which one is going to like, which one is going to be my taste?
Yes, of course it will be basically the same style as you know, if you have the app stores, for example. So there will be some approving process by us, but we don't basically do any like, you know, that we say, oh, we don't like it, you cannot like submit it. Because, you know, like, I think that the ratings and the users choose what they want to read. So as well as, you know, are the app stores maintained with this like quality control, you know, the audience made the quality control. If they don't like it, they don't buy it, so the author cannot make living from that. So it's just the natural selection process, I would say.
So tell us about the revenue model.
Yeah, the revenue model is basically the same as with the apps. So we have some commissions from each sale, but the most part, as I said, 50 to 70% of the royalties goes to the author. So and he can set the price for that. So he can, if he is like, if it's some big name who is selling pretty well, because also I don't know like how well do you know the comic book world, but basically the most important are the writers who make the story, and they can draw the audience to themselves. And depending on the artist who they work with, sometimes it is, but not so. It's not so strong. But mostly the authors drag the audience to themselves. So we believe that it will work the same here. They will drag the audience, and then they can make much more money, I would say, from the publishing through our platform than through the classic model.
Are you going to reach those authors?
Yeah, we will select them, we will ask them, we will make some PR to drag them in. We will do, as I mentioned, the Kickstarter. We will also, we will select basically also some of the really good names. We already know some. We know some really good artists as well, the authors. So we will reach them one by one, and then we believe that it will be just like the tide of the authors also. It's crucial fact of our project, of course, to have the content to be able to sell it. Of course, that's the most important.
I would, go back to the revenue model and maybe challenge you to think about it a little bit more, because there's so much to be learned from the examples of the Amazon Kindle and at the iTunes stores and all the subscription services and new entertainment from like Netflix, where subscriptions tends to be generally better. Then there's also the part of discovery. I think that when you say, well, we'll have the platform, everybody can post whatever they want, people will find them, that discovery process has to be facilitated by you. So I would also challenge to think a little bit more about how people can find.
Yeah, sure. Like I didn't went through the details, but of course, like the subscription is one of the options. But basically, from the point of the authors, how they will make some money. Yeah, it's basically they. When they sell their comics, we get some commission from them. But also, like the clients, the end users, the audience who reads the comics, yeah, they can make subscriptions or they can buy single comics. They can buy some bundles. So there are several options how to monetize the platform itself. And of course, we have to make we have to drag the people to come to our platform and to download the apps and read it, of course. Yeah.
How easy is it to learn your platform? If I'm a creator, like
Yes.
how long will it take me to get used to it and learn it?
Yeah, it's actually really intuitive. As I mentioned, as we created the Analyze Composer, it's actually really like a simple editor. You basically just put together the graphics which you are already using some graphic software to draw, basically to make all these graphics. And just on the side you can see the colorful lines. That's basically the audio files. So you can just like easily set like when you want which track you want to be played in which part of the story, and on the same time you can set some of the like, graphic effects. And so it's actually really easy. It will be, I would say, next like a couple of hours to learn it, and then you are able to do it and to publish it. It's really easy to do.
What are the competitors and what differentiates you from the others?
Basically, right now the digital comics, there are some you can find on App Store or whatever, and you can find some small projects usually, which are just basically like some single. For example, for some PR purposes, to some big movies, the Marvel movies, they make some, I would say, digital comics with some music or something. But none of the competitors has done it like as well as we do, I would say. And it's not so easy to publish it through that. And actually, to develop all the apps or to work it as well as we do, it's quite difficult for a single author to do it like that. And there isn't any platform which offers like such simple and easy to use solutions as we do. And the biggest store right now with digital comics is Comixology, but they basically sell, as I said in the beginning, just like traditional comics, just basically in digital form. So you have to turn the pages, you can zoom in and zoom out, and it's not so like, the user experience isn't very good.
So where do you stop and movies begin? Because when I scroll this one and listen to the music, this is a demo, I get that. But I see that here, if I was a cartoonist, I could actually read a voice, if I wanted to, I guess, and upload it, so that it could be like a semi-moving.
I already talked with somebody here about it, that they said, oh, it's like a movie which I read.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's true. Like it's actually open platform, so the authors can use it as they want. So if they want to themselves have some narrator like going through the story, it's also one possibility. But actually, if you go through it more deeply, you can see that like all the samples which are in the comics are like loops. So even if you stop on the panel for 10 minutes, the music still going on. So with the narrator reading something, you would have to move it somehow. But of course, like it's on the artist how he will use the platform. So that's also one of the good options which our editor offers. And we also have like several possible improvements in the future on how we can enhance it. But in the beginning, we want it like as simple as possible, also for the authors to learn it really easy in the beginning.
But at that moment, I don't know if it's the right approach to say whatever the authors want, because authors don't always know what sells. So platforms like Netflix are really good at telling the creators the analytics that they need for them to create products that will be liked by the consumer. So I just wonder, it seems like you have a lot of different identities. You're a media platform, you're a content platform, you're a software platform. Do you have one of those where you feel like this is our play, this is the service and the value that we're giving to our clients, or do you want to be all three of them?
Well, as I mentioned, it's quite necessary to have the whole ecosystem, because otherwise, you know, the Comics 2.0, you cannot do it anywhere else. You cannot basically spread it through any other platform. So we have to do the whole ecosystem. Yeah, and like as I said, you know, we are creators, and like last week we published like my own graphic novel, so we know it pretty well. How does it work? So yeah, of course we are really strong in the publishing. We know really well like how the comics process is going on, and yeah, we are maybe newbies in the e-commerce. I can say that may be one of our weaknesses. But on the other hand, we have some specialists for these fields. So yeah, let's see like what will happen.
Do you have any data on the number of readers of comics in, let's say, Europe, and then how many could potentially use technology for reading comics?
Yeah, there is, as I said in the beginning, you know, today most readers are reading paper or digital. Some of the audience, it's stuck to the paper form because they say, oh, you know, because the digital, it doesn't offer anything like any add value, you know. It doesn't have even such, you know, nice printing, the smell of the comic book and so on, which somebody is like familiar to. But as we add like some, you know, like layers which you cannot print, we make new media in some way. So that's why. And for a lot of people, it was, oh, I finally know how to read comics. And oh, if it's like this, I would read comics. So yeah, we are kind of disrupting, you know, the field because in some countries, it's the tradition to read comics is much bigger, as France, Japan, US. But in other countries, the comic books aren't, you know, appreciated as much. So the numbers could be difficult to say. But yeah, as I said, there are thousands of new publications every year. But to be honest, I don't know like exactly the numbers of readers because, for example, in France, some of the great titles sells like 1 million copies of some of the comic books the first week when they are published. So the market is huge. There are millions of readers. It's basically like as readers of books. So it's hard to say.
So you are yourselves illustrators, and you make this to distribute your content.
Yeah, as well.
So
yes.
the platform is to distribute content. Are anyone on the team not illustrators? Do you have some business people that will pull this in different directions?
Yeah, actually, me myself, I'm actually a script writer, so I write the stories. And my colleague Michael, he's illustrator. And in the team, basically, for example, also for the app. But actually, I have engineering degree in contrast. And my focus was actually on developing the app.
Marketing and business development.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, marketing, yes. Yeah, like business development and basically actually the mobile apps development process. It was actually my thesis.